Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my friend, Geraldo Rivera.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I love Massey v. Real. I want to acknowledge the bishop and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee. And, you know, as I look out there, this is what America really looks like. And Houston got there first. The diversity, the wonderful symbiotic relationship, the fact that you were all pulling in the same direction, generally speaking, for the betterment of your community and your own families. I was with Charles and Dan and Massey last night. They took me to a fancy steakhouse. I would have preferred a couple of tacos and refried beans, but I got that for breakfast. But I read them. I want to start at the toughest place first. I read them a text message I got from my 14-year-old. Hi, Dad. I was watching a TV show, and a dad just died. And I got really sad. I want you to know I love you more than anything. You are an awesome dad. I mean, my Jewish mother would say kvelling. I don't know if anyone knows Yiddish here, but I was touched. I even showed the guys at the table the text message. And then I went to bed at the Hyatt, and I woke up to the news clip on Fox 26 of the daughter of Officer Canales saying essentially what my daughter Simone said about her dad, who now tragically has been murdered by a gangbanger, I guess. He was in plain clothes. You know the story better than I do. Jump cut to, after a wonderful morning spent at Ripley, and I'll talk about that later, I'm sure. As I arrived at the hotel today, I was greeted by, I don't know if you saw them, 12 to 15 very vocal demonstrators who were calling me a traitor and saying, how dare I come here to speak on this issue when immigrants like me, I was born on 17th Street in Manhattan, but immigrants like me have blood on their hands. And I said to them, you know, I've been working with police for my entire 40-year career. The guys that I went to high school with, my high school only had a 25% college enrollment. They all became cops. I mean, basically, I would have been a cop if I didn't fortunately stumble on a different path. Not that there's anything wrong with being a cop, it's just I get paid more. So every officer's death means a lot to me. Every time someone who is on that thin blue line falls, it's as if it was a member of my family. But what I said to those demonstrators was, there were 300 homicides in Harris County last year. How many times have you all demonstrated? How many times have you come here with that passion and that anger and these words filled with ugliness and hatred? How many times have you been affected by these murders? Never. Silence. Why is it only this death matters to you? Or does the death matter to you really? Or is it the perpetrator that matters to you? Is it the murder, or is it the illegal status of the person who did it? We all deplore violent crime. But what has happened is, with these anecdotal tragedies, we have demonized an entire race of people in this country. Immigrant and non-immigrant alike, citizen and immigrant alike. We have made profoundly negative stereotypes of young Latino men climbing that damn wall. We have created a slanderous environment in our country where the 46 million of us who happen to have Latino roots now feel beleaguered, now feel besieged, now feel as if we are the other. There is a putrid fog that lies heavily over our community, and it is largely generated by the hate mongers in talk radio and talk TV who abandon all semblance of objectivity or factual accuracy and fasten on a scapegoat to blame for each and every social problem. Every study I have seen indicates that the undocumented commit far fewer crimes than the citizens among us. The Public Policy Institute in California found that the citizens were 8 times more likely to commit violent crimes than the undocumented immigrants. When was the last time you heard that statistic on Lou Dobbs' hate-filled program? When was the last time you appreciated the contribution the undocumented make to the vibrance and the vitality of the economy of the United States? I can go through the issues chapter and verse, including Social Security, and I would be glad to. But with Sheriff Garcia here, and my goodness, a breath of fresh air and another bigote, and I'm extremely proud of him. And we took Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, with whom I have worked for many years. She's 7 terms in Congress, and I have her on the air probably every 2 or 3 weeks. She's a wonderful and articulate representative of Houston and Texas and the United States. But we have a situation here where federal immigration and law enforcement policy has been perverted by an agenda driven by the propagandists. Let me give you a quick walkthrough from 2006. What happened? In the wake of the dreadful attacks of 9/11, ICE was created and energized with lavish federal funding to fight the terrorists and criminal immigrants among us. It was created to protect us against the villains who had taken down the Twin Towers in my hometown and killed 3,000 among us. But in 2006, in a series of secret memoranda, that mission, that specific targeted mission to go after the mafioso and the Al-Qaeda and those who would bring down our republic. And instead, they were told, driven by this talk radio agenda, to go for the low-hanging fruit, get the numbers up, start arresting these, if they are undocumented, arrest them. Arrest them, drive those numbers up. Each unit within ICE was then energized and deputized to go out there and bring in as many Juan and Marias as they possibly could. And what happened at Pilgrim's Pride, what happened in Laurel, Mississippi, what happened most infamously in Postville, Iowa, is an indication of how federal policy has been perverted and our tax money has been wasted and used to target one segment of this nation. 389 workers in the sordid conditions in that particular meatpacking company, that the largest kosher butcher in the United States. 389 of them were arrested by 900 ICE agents. 900 ICE agents in Postville, Iowa, joined by cadres of assistant U.S. attorneys, joined by helicopters and armored vehicles, and they went into that meatpacking plant, and you can just imagine the terror of those workers there who worked under horrible conditions, who were being underpaid and exploited, unlike Pilgrim's Pride and other wonderful organizations that are out there, reasonable and honorable businessmen. The people in that place were exploiting those workers. Some were underage. So here they are. They have dreaded their entire time in the United States that moment would come, and it came down in spades with the helicopters and the armored vehicles and Migra, Salvase, busting in the doors, and they round up the 389 workers, and guess what? How many of them had criminal records? 5. 5 of them had criminal records. 5 of them were the kind of people who arguably would have been covered by the intent of the funding for ICE in the post-9/11 era. 5 out of 389. Rounded up, forced to plead guilty to a federal felony, deported, barred forever from ever legally entering the United States. Why? Because they are now federal convicted felons. Of course, the Supreme Court of the United States later voided the law under which they were forced to plead guilty, but no matter, they're gone, they're deported. Many of their wives, many of their children still in Postville, because many of those children are citizens of the United States. Is that what we wanted our anti-terror money spent on? The 389 people who are working under those conditions, cutting the heads off cows in the August heat in Iowa, is that, when you vision Osama bin Laden, is this the person we really wanted to spend those tens and hundreds of millions of dollars protecting us against? We have had a federal immigration policy that has been a distortion and an anti-immigration violation of the traditions and the values that this nation was built on.